Pretty good.
Yeah, it's doing really well. I'm gonna do a Knicks guide. I already have notes on it. I've been watching GH and people play.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
I'm also doing the thing that you're doing, where I just play that hero. I just first pick it every single game, and sometimes it sucks, sometimes it doesn't suck. But because I'm approaching it with like I'm learning Nyx, this is not about me gaining MMR. It's about me adding Nyx to my hero pool for all situations.
Yeah.
We had a couple games that it could have been super frustrating. My whole team was super tilted. Everything was going to shit, and I'm just playing Nyx, and shit sucks, but I'm gonna play another game of Nyx after this one, and then another game of Nyx after this one.
Yeah, I've been doing that too. I'm MMR's going up because I'm doing it though.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like skyrocketing actually. I'm gonna probably do my next guide on like Natures or Abaddon. I'm playing a lot of Abaddon 5 when people are fucking banning Natures on me now.
Nice. Yeah, ABBA 5 is super good. I can't lose with ABBA. I have like a 70% win rate on like 160 games on that hero.
It's a really good hero. Just saving people in pubs like the way he does is too good.
Yep. Exactly. You can save people multiple times too. You save them with your heal, you save them with your shield, you save them with your heal again. And then you just go for like medallion, some other shit like
Urn.
Yeah, Urn, Lotus Orb if you can get it, Glimmer.
God, yeah, if you can afford it.
Yeah.
If you're rich. And my warding has been fucking on these games too. I've seen so many situations where people are getting kills off my wards. It's better in like the high rated games because people will actually make plays. But I'm like, in the last game that I played where I was Abaddon, I was watching a Lich walk with like 3 sentries to an area I warded, and then he'd walk out with no sentries and no D wards. And it's like you're just getting. Basically was putting really good like glimpse wards, you know. And it's like, dude, you're getting fucked. Like he'd see me walk into an area to ward it, and he wouldn't deward it with 3 sentries.
It's the little things that you take pleasure in when you're playing support 5. Like that's the kind of shit where you're just like, I just fucked their support so hard.
Dude, it was super game winning because we always had vision on like. I had a ward that caught a Sven picking up his blink reveal. I had a ward that caught OD picking up a fucking sheep stick. Like, maybe I should make a video about this this replay because like literally there's situations where like my team was playing off my wards and I wasn't even there, but it's like how warding can actually win a game.
Yeah, you shouldn't title it that. You should title it like information gathering, like a pro or something like that.
No, that's fucking gay.
Just don't name it something like game-winning wars because we've already done that like 3 times.
I know, but I'm information gathering. Nobody's gonna be like, information gather. Fucking look that up on YouTube. you want just like,
right?
I fuck these bitches in the pussy with my wards.
It needs to be like, OMG, Sumail missed my D ward. What a bitch! Mid one, rampage off my wards. Arteezy, 115 Bulldog, Kappa Pride, Pepega, BSJ sucks, XXX.
Yes, I'm gonna do it. At what point do we just succumb to that bullshit?
Ever.
Okay.
Because if we succumb to it, then we can't meme about it, and then that would be a sad day.
We don't even meme about it. We need to meme about it then.
We do meme about it. Have you seen our thumbnails recently?
All right, let's go live. Let's go live.
We are live. We've been live this whole time.
Oh, shit. Have I said anything incriminating?
Yes.
Liar.
You gave out your social security number and bank account information.
226-666-6969. I don't see our stream, by the way.
Well, it's up there. Yeah. 32 people watching us right now.
Well, you can suck me off. You can just suck me. Not like not that kind of way. Just like bros, you know.
It's just bros hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, just giving each other
out a little bit.
Yeah, giving each other just a bit of a hand, just checking each other out, seeing what's going on downstairs for each of the individual guys.
Right.
That are there.
I mean, you can't just have one checkup. It's got to be mutual. Otherwise, one person is going to be dead. You got to keep each other alive.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. When do you want to get started there, big boy?
Tweeting it out right now.
Okay.
What episode?
Fuck knows, dude. Fuck knows. You mean like my manic episodes or like episode of Alchemy Answers?
I mean, you're just
What's the,
permanently in a manic episode.
what's the
So
difference? What's the difference? Greetings from Greece. Hey, you want to do me a favor? Not you. I'm asking my boy from Greece.
oh,
Take your phone and take a picture. Go out the window and take a picture for me, and then put it on Imager and link it to me. I want to see what Greece looks like. That sounds like I'm trying to dox you. I'm just interested that you're from Greece. I hear it's great. I want to see what it looks like there.
at least you weren't like super just stereotypical about it. Like, go take a picture of the Parthenon, send it to me, the Colosseum.
I just want to see what it looks like in like a suburb or wherever you live. Australia. Give me a pic of that too. Let's see. Give all of these.
Go get me a
locations.
picture of a kangaroo.
I just want to see what it looks outside your physical house in a place like that. Because all the places
are trying to dox these people.
I'm curious.
Send me a picture of your house with your exact address and location. And
I don't want your address. I'm just curious. I wanna see what you.
Don't give Jenkins anything, guys.
I want to see what your experience is as a person. What your general, what the physical surroundings for you are inside your head a little bit.
Picture of my bong, not particular.
I want a bong. I want a bong picture. Fill the what the hell's it? The stem? No, the bowl. Fill the bowl up with weed and send me a pic of that. It's 4:30 a.m. Don't worry about it. You don't have to do it. If you felt like it, I would appreciate it. But if you don't feel like it,
why can't I?
Don't bother.
Why can't I see the Alchemy Answers playlist?
How come you always make my camera so large and makes my head look fucking massive? When I was a child, I was extremely insecure about having a large head, and you're bringing that insecurity back for me.
Because the only size that it can be is this big.
Dillian Willems brings up a really good point. He says, Jenkins Daddy, this video is called Replay Review, but it says Answers on the overlay. He's right. We should do Replay Review because it says that in the title.
Oh, we're doing Alchemy.
Well, okay.
And it's 27. I was looking for it. I literally fuck that up every week. Every single replay review says Alchemy Answers, and every single Alchemy Answers says replay review. Because I switch it like halfway through and then forget to change it back.
What should we... I have a question for chat. This is called Alchemy Answers, and you're part of the Alchemists, so you answer this question that I have. If you guys wanted to see Donnie and I stream something together, what would you want us to stream? We've thought about doing party queue and stuff like that, but both of us are fucking obsessed with solo queuing, so like we both just don't party queue at all. Period. Yeah. It's not we don't party queue together. We don't party queue. People ask Jenkins, "Can I queue with you party?" And it's like, well, I probably wouldn't do it in the first place because you suck, but I don't party queue, so
yeah.
I was just kidding about the sucking part, but I don't party queue, so it's like there's if I'm not gonna party queue with my girlfriend or my fucking business partner and gay lover, then I'm not gonna party queue with.
Yeah, I like literally. I have like really good friends from my like high school days that I don't even play Dota
with. Dude, my college best friend. So like one of my best friends. I have to say that because otherwise you'll get jealous. He always wants to play. He wants to play now because he's coming back to Dota, mainly because he played auto chess. And he's like, "Oh, Jenkins still plays this game. Let's play Dota." Yeah. And I keep postponing it because when I get time to queue, it's like I want to solo queue.
I know. That's how I feel. It's like I actually rarely get time to play Dota. So when I do play Dota, I want to just like dive into solo queue and feel like I'm accomplishing something instead of
right. You want to do something
my
that's
time
like...
developing a relationship with a friend. Fuck that.
I get it. You want to go into the deep end of the fucking pool, not the kiddie pool. Like party queue feels like it's the kiddie side of the pool.
Exactly.
Shallow end. Yeah, I know what you mean. Party queue would be even more funny now that you hate it. Oh, you're not wrong.
We could play like some ability draft or something weird like that, or we could just play a different game. I don't know.
We could play different. I mean, yeah, sure. We could play a different game. Let's just turn to Let's Players.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff we could do, but a whole lot of like useless, awful stuff we could do too.
Yeah, definitely.
I streamed Ability Draft the other day. I was playing with Lawrence, like Malastrix Ability Draft, and he barely plays Dota, so he's awful. But he was having fun with it. We were just clowning around. Fuck, man. I had like 20 viewers. I usually have like between 50 and 100, and I had fucking less than 20. People would come, they'd be like, "Oh my god, it's Ability Draft. I'm leaving."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, people watch me just get pissed at Dota, and then I play something like Magic where I'm interacting with chat and being like, hey, like, you know, answering all their questions about Dota on my Magic stream, and I have like 5 viewers. And it's just like, you just want to see me like not enjoy myself playing Dota, I guess, instead.
Yeah. ASMR video. Why are we both wearing green shirts? Fuck you, Goatsy. Come on. You sent the pic in my Facebook page. That is such a specific place. The Dota Alchemy Facebook page?
Yeah, you didn't send it to
me.
Okay. So you can't even see
I thought you said it divided. It's like, fuck, dude, I don't even use Facebook.
I was like, do you even have a Facebook page? I guess I should probably make you an admin on our Facebook page so you can
maybe
questions that we get there instead of
Epulse mentioned Jenkins in a post. Apparently Epulse is announcing like my casting on Facebook.
Nice.
Fuck, dude, I don't even use Facebook. All right. What do you mean? Yeah, right. Do you use Facebook?
I use it for work, and
I don't use it for anything. It's boring. I find if I want to like waste my time on social media, I'll just read Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even use YouTube that much. Like, I'll watch documentaries on YouTube, but that's about it. I rarely check out like just content.
Literally just play Dota.
What? Oh yeah, I basically just play Dota. I thought you were saying I thought you were gonna contradict me, but no, you're agreeing with me, and you're not wrong.
All right, let's get into these questions.
2018 is the last time we posted on Facebook.
Yeah. Dude, you don't know how much fucking time it is to literally take all of our content, repurpose it for the medium of Instagram and Facebook, re-fucking upload it.
Do you still do the Instagram?
I made a fun video on Instagram the other day. Like, it actually is like a full-time job to be a social media person, and I'm still trying to make YouTube videos for our YouTube channel and shit. Like, it's really hard. There's not enough time. I would actually never play Dota if I was just turning all of our content into social media stuff.
Yeah, that's why we need to make more money so we can hire people.
Seriously.
We can't afford it right now. Not with rent to pay.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the intro and then let's
go.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Alchemy Answers, episode 27. And we're doing it here live on YouTube. So if you're listening to this in podcast form at a later date, be sure to check out our YouTube channel, Dota Alchemy on YouTube. And you can tune in live and maybe even have your questions answered. And to guarantee your questions being answered, you should check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Dota Alchemy, where you can join the Questions and Alchemists tier, where we will answer your questions every week live on this stream. So without further ado, get to those Patreon questions.
We should probably mention that we always start at Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. Replay review is Thursday, and the replay review is Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Yep. Okay, so let's get to. So we only have 3 questions from Patreon.
There was a couple below or above my latest.
Okay, actually, there
should be a few that I haven't answered actually. So
we have a lot actually because it's been a couple of weeks because we were both casting.
Yep.
But if you have any questions, we'll call for it at the end. I'll call for questions from chat, like 2 or 3 questions from the end, so we can get a bunch of them.
Yep.
But anyway, okay, so we have Hawkillionaire says, question, during the first 5 to 10 minutes, you guys have stated that it is beneficial to send double waves via single pulling creeps when versing difficult offlaners. Can you please name a bunch of specific heroes / lane matchups where this would be necessary to do it against? Okay, I like some specifics. So it would depend on your hero, I would say. Typically, if you have something like a Morphling, a Terrorblade, most carries generally, unless there's some extremely strong early game carry.
Prowl, Luna.
Yeah,
Like all of these heroes that don't want to be pressured. Basically, the only carries you're not going to do this with in lane are probably like Chaos Knight, Sven, Ursa, maybe Lifestealer, Troll, something like that. Everybody else, you're probably fine. Double wave.
Right. And I would actually argue that it depends more on your carry than it does on the offlaner, because typically offlaners in the support that's going to be with them are going to be able to pressure a typical safe lane, because that's why they pick it. That's why it's in that particular role. So you would probably want to do that versus like a Nature's Prophet. That's a very high pressure hero. It's hard to deal with his harass, and he'll outlast hit you, but you can kill him if you get a couple of levels first. That's all it's about. It's just about getting a couple of levels, trying to scrape as much as you can off the bottom of the barrel until you get to a point where you don't have to do that anymore, where you can actually kill somebody. So, Sand King Leshrac, that's like a heavy kill lane. You wouldn't even bother like stepping up to the creep wave there and harassing them.
Yeah, I'm actually going to stop you there for a sec. I'm going to stop you there for a sec because I don't like the fact that this question is asking for just like name a list of heroes, because I don't think that's very valuable. I don't think ever asking that kind of question is that valuable. I think if we just kind of maybe describe the feeling, like if you are in a lane and it feels like anytime you approach the creep wave or try to trade harass, you are just massively losing that trade, or you're against a hero that it seems like you have absolutely no chance of pressuring out of the lane, but they can still do damage to you. Let's say you're like, I don't know, some lion trying to like harass a Tidehunter Beastmaster out of lane, something like that. There's like no chance that you're going to be able to do that. You should be able to feel that when you're playing it. Go up, you poke them with your right click. They hit you like 7 times in response because you're slow and they're faster than you and they have way more base damage. Suddenly, you take one trade with them, you're at half health, they're literally at full health. You should instantly feel like this lane sucks. I need to start pressuring them with double waves so that they can't pressure me and my carry in the same way that they just did. It's like that's basically what I would say, is you need to be able to feel that the lane is hard, and then you can know this is a lane that I need to do this. Because if I were to just list like 70 heroes that you should do this against, that's not really going to help you very much.
Well, also the problem is it depends on the matchup as well. So not only is it 70 heroes that could be in the offlane slot, it's like the permutations of who you have versus who they have. Like if you've Oracle versus a Darkseer, you can contest that because you purge the shell. If you don't have Oracle versus Darkseer, then it's not that simple. And so I would agree with Don. Say you just want to generally do things based off of feeling, and accept the fact that if you have to die like once or twice to get the right feeling and get the correct judgment of how difficult a lane is, then that's fine. That's fine as long as you're adjusting on the fly. That's all that really matters, because even professional players will make the occasional mistake and miscalculation.
Yeah, they'll take bad trades all the time, and then they won't make them again after they make the bad trade.
Yep.
And sometimes your lane will suddenly hit the point where you don't need to do the double wave because you've become stronger, and that's the whole point. So unless you're actively trying to feel where the lane is hard and then reacting to that, you're not going to be able to be like, oh, well, now I don't need to double wave them. Which, because I don't want to say like, oh, you should just always double wave this particular lane, because there might be a point in that lane where you can suddenly stop double waving them, kill them. But if I just give you the information, you should double wave this, then you're just going to do that over and over and give them too much experience as a result.
So to move on from that point, a couple of the boys, after this question was asked in Questions in Alchemist, they're asking about the casting stuff that we've been doing. And then I also read in chat, somebody asked us what we do for day jobs. So for me, this is kind of off topic of Dota, but for me, I've been casting. I basically make money casting Dota and streaming and doing Dota Alchemy. That's my main source of income, with like the occasional like freelance software engineering sort of gig. But it's been a while since it's been like months since I've done one of those. It's mostly like Dota Alchemy and what's it called, casting for me and for Donnie. I mean, I guess you can answer that.
You can just tell them my whole life story.
I mean, I know what you do.
No. But yeah, so up until we started Dota Alchemy, I was working for Pugna, and that was paying me a monthly salary. But they went out of business, so ever since then, I've been just like trying to find out how to make a living, basically, and that's been Dota Alchemy. Losing money on Dota Alchemy for the last 6 months, pretty much, and doing random little odd jobs here and there. Like a couple weeks ago, I shoveled snow to pay my rent. I taught snowboarding on the weekends. I have recently started a part-time job doing marketing, social media, video production, photography for a manufacturing company down where I live, and that is now paying my rent, so I can focus on Dota Alchemy with my spare time without stressing about whether I'm going to be able to eat, which is what it's been like for the last 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it turns out that's like not great for being productive.
No, it actually sucks. It's really good for making you depressed and losing arm when you're worried about whether you're going to be able to survive.
Yeah. Chat's asking to raise your volume, but I don't know if you want.
I cannot
tinker with that. Okay.
I can't.
That's fine. Okay, so next question.
I can turn yours down though.
Okay, maybe do that. Hawkillionaire again says
this guy is rabid for information.
Hawkillionaire, he really is.
Yeah.
He's getting up there, man. He's gaining rank. Turns out when you're extremely genuinely ravenous for information and self-critical, you gain a lot of MMR. Hawkillionaire is a good example.
Yeah.
Also, he won a TI. But so, what is the best time to activate Greaves, Mech, Crimson, and Pipe? Pre-fight, as you're walking in. Mid-fight, once your team has taken some damage. Wait until somebody is close to dying. That question also depends. I would say for the most part, the most effective use of Mech and Wand is to wait until somebody is close to dying. Like using it to bait is one of the best uses. And if you're going to heal the person anyway, there's no difference of doing it early or doing it right as they're about to die. Either they're going to die or they're not with the damage and HP calculation. So when it comes to Crimson is something that you should use basically as the fight starts, like just immediately, because it lasts a really long time, and the more effective HP you have, the more HP you have to work with, the more effective HP Crimson gives you, because people need to do more hits on somebody to get them low, and that is going to give you more reduction. And the same thing goes for Pipe. Alternatively, with Crimson and Pipe, if there's a particular ability that you're waiting for on the enemy team, like for instance Ravage, you can use the Pipe to negate that. But in general, when it boils down to it, like you're either going to take the damage or you're not. So with Crimson and Pipe, you just kind of use it. So that way it has its full effectiveness. And then with Greaves, actually you could even bait with Pipe too. That's just dangerous because it's not heal. It's not both damage types.
Right. It's not quite the same. It's kind of something that we've talked about many times before, which is that you should go into a fight with a plan. And that's what I like to do. That's how I like to approach Pipe specifically. I think that Crimson is one of the things that you could basically just use. Like the initiation happens, you just pop Crimson. Like that's pretty much how it works. As for Pipe, I like to go into a fight thinking about, all right, what's the magic damage that I'm trying to negate? Is it the Phoenix Supernova? Is it the Radiance? Whatever it is, when that appears on your screen, that's when you use your Pipe, because that's where it's going to get the most value. You don't want to just like use your Pipe preemptively necessarily, unless you're trying to keep a creep wave alive as you're going high ground. Otherwise, it's going to run out or perhaps get dispelled or something like that. But if you have that one thing, all right, when this ability appears, pipe is used. That's where you get your extra 400 HP from the pipe, and you get to take advantage of the whole thing. And then I totally agree on the baiting thing. I think that Greaves and Wand, like, the whole purpose of them is to make people think that you're gonna die and then not.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Okay, so somebody says, ZTO says, I saw Daxic playing with everybody muted. He claims he's doing it to improve map awareness. What are your thoughts on this way to practice? I think that's fine. Like, I think probably the most important thing about practicing getting better at Dota, and by honestly probably just in general, like, that's a good way to practice. Like anything, getting good at anything. But basically, I guess I kind of preempted my point by saying that, but basically, I think what's important is just going into a game with an idea of like how you want to practice, like what it is that you want to practice. I think if that's your general idea and you're just muting everybody, you're probably going to improve map awareness not by muting everybody, but because you're just thinking about improving map awareness. So anything that you can do to actually go into games and think I'm practicing this specific concept is going to be good. And like I said, I think that is like reflected in other things, not just in Dota. I think that's like a general statement, but I lack the proper non-Dota experience to say whether or not that's just conjecture. But I'm pretty sure it's true.
Yeah, I mean that's really just the general concept of how to get better at anything in life is if you go about it in like a focused way. So if you're muting your whole team and the other team to specifically focus on map awareness, then that's going to make you better. But if you're just muting everything because you can't handle like interacting with other people in the game, then maybe Dota's not the game for you. Like I know that some people recommend that you mute your whole team and the whole enemy team. We've even recommended that at times, like to protect yourself from toxicity and flaming and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you don't have any communication with your team in a team-based game, you're eventually going to plateau and not get better.
Yeah. Okay, so Sir Snipes a lot says, how do you avoid getting tilted in a game where you're badly losing, whether it be tilting from underperforming teammates or by an enemy team steamrolling your tier 3 at 20 minutes? So if anybody's ever watched my stream, like most people would know that the way that I deal with that is just by fucking around and laughing. So I just treat the game like it's kind of a joke and have fun with it. I think that's a better response than getting angry, and I don't think it's necessarily like good that you're letting a game control your emotions and you have to have this like cop out method to not get upset. But I'm a firm believer that. So this is going to be a little tangential, but anybody who says they've had success and they're just like naturally born with talent, it's fucking bullshit. Like everybody has to work really hard to get somewhere, and basically the reason that I'm saying that is because I think that no matter what, people are human, and it's way more realistic to go into a situation and understand like all of the elements to it from a human perspective and how you're going to fuck up psychologically, and then instead of preparing to not fuck up, you prepare like what to do when you fuck up, because you are a human, so you will fuck up. You're a complete fuck up and a fucking loser. And so am I, because we're all losers, and that's what makes us human. It's that we can lose and get up again and do better. So basically, going back to the point, for me, I know that I'm going to have people tilt me. I know I'm going to be upset in games because I'm human. So my way of dealing with that is by just laughing nervously and just by making a joke of things. And once again, I wish I didn't have to do that, but I'm fucking human and so are you. So whatever.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm like on my game, if somebody says something negative to me or my teammates or even to the other team, a lot of the time, I just instantly mute them. Like, and they're just muted for the game because I don't even want to consider that this person can interact with me in that way. And that usually helps when I'm not on my game. Then a lot of the time I respond and then I lose. And I'm one of those people that if somebody on my team is
I respond too. It's such a bad habit. It's so bad.
If somebody on my team is flaming somebody else on my team, I'm always one of those people that will like kind of get in the middle. Yeah, just because I'm like, why are you doing this?
And then you become the focus.
Exactly. And then it ultimately always escalates things anyway, because usually if like the carry is like blaming the support, always, he's like, this support won't like do this thing correctly, and I'm just like, why don't you just tell him instead of yelling at him? And then he'll be like, fuck you, man. And I'm just like, you have fucking mental problems. And then he's like, well, you're muted now. And I'm like, okay, cool.
And
well,
I'm gonna go down mid if you say anything else. Like, go fuck yourself, bitch.
Yeah.
And then he goes down fucking mid.
Exactly. So it definitely escalates the problem. So that's me when I'm like not on my game. When I am on my game, I'm not even gonna put myself in the position to escalate the thing. I'll just mute them. And then if the other person starts defending themselves to them, I mute them too. Because even though they're not directing toxicity to me, it's like, I just don't want to fucking read their trash that they're just spewing onto my screen while I'm trying to play Dota. And I know that they're both going to play like trash for the rest of the game. And I'm going to have to carry their dead ass weight. And so I need my full focus to be able to do that. And so I'm just going to go ahead and remove them from even the picture. I'm going to treat them as if they're bots, and I'm going to play the Dota game that I can play without that, bothering me.
Yep. I used the seek counseling L. Yeah, that's a good one. For me, I find that for muting those people, what helps me do it is I'll just say something like, "You need help," and then I'll mute them. And I'll be like, "All right, I got the last word. I don't have to see any of the other fucking bullshit that they say."
Yeah.
That's how I deal with it.
It's very petty, but sometimes
pathetic,
you gotta do.
petty.
Yeah.
But it's not. Believe me, man. I played this game not at a very high level, but at an okay level. For when I used to play pro, and I can tell you that like all of the best players struggle with this shit too. It's not.
Yeah.
It just gets worse and worse because it's just so emotional to be good at something that's like hyper competitive. To be hyper competitive to the point of being suicidal, like self-destroying.
Yeah, there was actually a question here that was some guy, I forget the name, but he was saying that he moved, nice. Got married, stopped playing Dota for 2 months, and his life is just like much lighter in general. And he's like, do you guys have IRL problems based on Dota toxicity? And the answer is absolutely. If you let it get to you, it will definitely affect all of your other relationships and can make you extremely depressed if you put all of your self-worth on winning Dota games, which some people do, and some people go through phases of that. So
I've been good for the last like 5 to 6 months. I legitimately haven't. I'm proud of myself, and coincidentally, my MMR is going up. I feel a lot better.
It's not coincidentally. It's a result of you not being depressed and emotionally involved. You are getting better at the game.
Right. I basically have like a really good relationship with Dota, and I think it's not just a Dota thing. I don't want to pretend that it's like just a Dota thing. If I wasn't playing Dota, I'd be playing World of Warcraft or something else that's like, semi-competitive that a lot of people are playing, and I'd be investing emotionally in that.
Yeah.
That's just what I've realized. This is actually a realization I've had over the past like 2 to 3 weeks. Basically, I was doing some potential job interview stuff, like software engineering stuff, and I was just thinking like, no matter what I do, I'm always gonna feel unfulfilled in that like I could do more. It's like my brain always goes to what I could be doing, other than what I am doing. And so no matter what it is that I'm doing, it'll be like, oh, I wish I was a doctor, so saving people. If I'm a doctor, it's like, fuck, I'm not true to myself. I wish I was playing games. So I'm playing games. It's like, I'm such a loser. I'm not a doctor. You know what I mean? There's this cyclical thing where basically I feel like it's just the human condition to constantly want change, want to do better, want to do something different. So basically, what I've been focusing on instead is just day to day, like what makes me happy day to day. That's what I've been focusing on, and for me, that's games. Yeah. So basically, no matter what, I would be playing games. No matter what, I'd probably be getting too emotionally invested. So even though, if let's say Dota dies, this is still something that is important for me to continue doing and not getting emotionally invested, or know how to grow up and deal with being emotionally invested without being a little bitch about it and have it fucking ruin other aspects of my life. And I think that's why it's just not like it's not like a stupid thing to fix. I think it's usually reflective of a much deeper problem that you have that will constantly be a problem in life if you don't fix it.
Yeah, I think that's what you just said there is the point that I really want to expand on, which is that if you are focusing on some like very, I don't know, a lot of people say that you're supposed to set goals, but I think that a lot of people have sort of just like this weird ephemeral goal in Dota where it's like, well, I see these people, making money playing this game that I love. And I would love to get to Immortal because somehow it would validate me that I'm good at the game like they are, and it's somehow going to give me the same satisfaction that they get. I don't really know what the motivation is, but I do know that if you are looking to the future as like, oh, well, if I can just get to this MMR, then I'm going to have fun playing Dota. Or if I can just get to this MMR, then my games are going to be good and I'm going to have fun. Or if I can just get to this MMR, or just learn to play this hero, or just learn what the meta is so I can be good enough to do this or this or this. You're never actually going to find any satisfaction in playing Dota, and the whole time you're just going to be like bitter and pissed off at the fact that you're not having fun, and every time that a teammate makes a mistake or the game's hard or you're having to like, deal with some negativity in Dota, you're just going to get really upset and either pissed off or apathetic or whatever it is. And so it is really important just to focus on the day-to-day, the game-to-game, the small little things that you can control, because if you're trying to like play the game for the result with just that in mind as like somehow your like absolution, it's like, if I can just win this game of Dota, suddenly my life will be fine. It's like, no, there's other things that you can do along the way that are going to make you happy, and that's
I
the
think
most important stuff.
my personal opinion is that if you don't focus on the day to day, it will still control you. Like you losing games. Like, okay, let's say that I'm not playing Dota, because I know this is a very Dota centric thing for a lot of people. They think it's Dota centric. Let's say I'm playing World of Warcraft, raiding with my guild. We fucking fail a raid night. Like, I go into work the next day, I'm gonna be less happy. If I eat something shitty in the morning, like when I come home from work, I'm not gonna feel like working out. Like, there are always going to be these things that are these like slight things that are happening in your day that are completely controlling other things that you can do in your day, and then it'll snowball out of control. This is like super this is like mental illness stuff, and we should get back to Dota. But basically what I'm saying is, like, the stuff that happens in your day-to-day, like one thing that somebody says to you can just make you upset for that day, and then that can trigger something else, and then something else, and then it snowballs, and then a week later you're fucking legitimately depressed. Ellie the other day, I hate to throw her under the bus, but we were at the Walmart, and we were just like, it was super busy. It was a Sunday. We were walking around, kind of having a good time, like fucking around a little bit. We'd see, it's Canada, so we'd see people smile, say hello or whatever, or sorry when getting it. This one woman, like, we were putting our cart across, and it was this intersection, and like they both kind of stopped. Ellie had the cart, and then this other woman had the cart, and then they both stopped. So Ellie just went, because it's like, okay, well, we both stopped. I'm just going to take the reins and go. And then the other woman started to go too. And so Ellie went in front of her, just because, it's better to just keep going than to just stop. Okay, let's go. Stop. It's this awkward thing. So you just fucking go. And then Ellie was like, oh, sorry. And then the woman was like, oh my God, something like that. Like, she said something just rude, basically.
Just pissed.
And Ellie, I could tell for the rest of the store, she was just upset. When we were in the store, she was just upset and thinking about it. And then by the time we were in the parking lot, she was freaking crying, because it's like, she's just like, oh, I wish I could say stuff to people like that. And it's this like much deeper issue, and it like piles on. And then she had bad Dota games, and because she's tilted from what happened at the friggin' Walmart, this one woman saying something, like one thing somebody says in Dota makes her upset. It's like this snowballing thing. It happens for me too. It's just that recently I saw it with her, and then she sleeps and wakes up, and it's, the next day, and she's good. But it's like that whole day was ruined by that one thing that the woman said. And that's just being human. Like, that is just how it is. So basically, I guess back to the point is that, if you're not focusing on the day to day, it doesn't mean that it's not going to control how your entire life feels. It's going to control that. That's why people say fucking clean your room. That's why people say do your dishes. Like, make your physical existence not cluttered, so your mind isn't cluttered. Like your day to day, you're human. No matter how much we stare at screens and have these big ideas of what we want to do in life, like you are still a physical animal that wants things to be in order in your fucking average day to day life. You know.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say is we've talked about this before. If you want to work on this, you should never play another game after a bad one. You should literally try to end every single one of your Dota sessions on the worst possible note ever. Like have a feeder on your team, lose a game that's super hard, get super emotionally invested in the game, and then lose, and then walk away, and then just deal with that for the rest of your day.
Keep your Dota games clean. Don't drop branches all over the place.
Anyway, let's go on to the next question.
Okay. So we have Prime Operator, our boy from Brazil. As an offlaner, when should I switch my itemization from a more aura utility build to more damage-oriented build? I asked that because there are some games where my other cores don't have a great game and my team lacks damage mid to late game. I think you answered your own question. Like if your team lacks damage, then you can go damage. You can make like the calculated decision to go damage. Sometimes you'll be wrong, but that's okay. If you have already an aura carrier on your team, then let them do it. I would say generally like probably you almost always go aura, because unless you're in like divine or immortal, people aren't going to go auras. People are going to go damage items. Like you're probably not going to need damage. You're probably going to need defensive items. So I would say like most of the time you want to go auras, 90% to 10.
Yep. I would just say that, generally in pubs, like you said, auras are almost always good in pubs because most people won't buy them and somebody needs to be buying them, and you're going to have an overwhelming amount of damage. That being said, this is very much like the question about what lanes should I double wave. You're asking for very specific examples for things that cannot be like given to you in specifics, because it's a game by game, literally a minute by minute basis of the game that you're playing. And I think that there's a lot of people that just get like, don't be afraid to fuck up. Like that's the biggest thing. Just make a decision. You actually talked about this in your last video, Jenkins, about your mentality. It's like just make a decision, make a call, and stick to that. And if it's wrong, then take a note of that and do something different next time. But I think there's too many people that are like, they're too scared to make decisions because they're either going to get flamed, they're going to lose the one game of Dota that they get to play today because maybe they have a busy schedule, maybe they get depressed after losing a game. Like if those other factors are like paralyzing you from actually making a decision, and you're asking us for advice for stuff that you need to figure out for yourself, like that's the main issue there, is you need to actually be okay having your own opinions, being wrong about them, reevaluating the fact that you are wrong, and figuring out the right way.
Yeah, so don't ask us any more fucking questions like this is I'm just kidding. He knows I'm kidding. Prime Operator's our boy. So RS3SJWRF. Holy shit, there are no vowels in your name. What is the best support to pick that scales into the late game? This came to me watching Roger Skyrath kill position 1 and 2 cores. Shadow Shaman.
Yep.
Bane is okay just because his Enfeeble's ridiculous. Bounty Hunter is amazing. Bounty Hunter is fucking fantastic. Let's see. I'm trying to find like easier ones that aren't like utility scale, like your traditional like transitions to core.
I would say heroes, Shaman, Nature's Prophet.
Nature's is weird. I was gonna say Nature's too, but it's like a utility. It's a utility carry in the late game. It's not like BH and Shaman can actually like solo kill people. Nature's Prophet's more you scale to be like an offlaner.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So if you know how to play offlane, you can pick Nature's as like a scaling.
Warlock? Maybe?
Yeah. I think Warlock's probably pretty underrated right now.
And then maybe like Dazzle.
Dazzle's good, yeah. Although he has a grave bitch, like.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like these are heroes that like if your team is literally just stuck in the base, you can still just like split push and get your farm, and then suddenly
Takiro's one.
Yeah.
Can like farm and push out waves. Anyway, I think that's enough. You don't want to focus on like 20 heroes.
Yeah.
Okay, is it more important to spam the meta heroes or late pick the hero your team really needs? I would say right now, like you can late pick the hero your team really needs. It depends on the meta, but right now it's a lot of like first 3 picks are extremely common, like Nature's Prophet, Oracles, Razors. These like ubiquitously just well balanced here. Like I shouldn't say well balanced because they're broken, but they're well balanced in terms of like they'll never have a bad game. And then the later picks are literally like any fucking hero in Dota. Like there are no really bad heroes in Dota right now, other than Pudge. But I would say yes. Right now, you want to late pick the heroes that your team needs.
I guess if you can play the hero.
If you can play it, yeah. I
don't late pick the hero that your team needs. Like if you're not good at the hero, because that's just gonna make the game bad. you're literally putting your highest priority pick into something that can't be played at the same level that you're at, which a lot of people do. They're like, oh, I need to last pick the carry, and then they pick some carry that's like perfect for the game they played twice, and then they don't even know how to last hit on it.
Yeah,
farm. So
don't do that. All right, that's it for questions, and I need to go talk to my dad. He said he needs to talk to me, and he said tonight with a dot. So it's
can we take like important. 5 questions from chat real quick?
Well, we can do a speed round.
All right, speed round from chat. Go ahead, put your questions in chat. We're gonna take questions for the next 3 to 5 minutes, and we're gonna give you like 10-word answers or less. Go.
I watch my own games, then compare better to higher metal. Why still feels like I'm better? Because you're Google Dunning-Kruger. Isn't best pick heroes that you more comfortable with? If so, it's best to have heroes or more post rolls. You want more post rolls.
I don't know what that means.
After the map change, how to spot the dead lane.
Most dangerous place on the map for you to be.
Yeah, if it feels dangerous, that's the dead lane. Where's video with Bowie?
On our Patreon? I don't know. It's on our YouTube, I think. Should you sell Drums of Endurance when it's out of charges? Only if you're going to replace it with something better.
Is it worth farming Jung or ganking side lanes as Ember if sides are still safe? Yes.
What is your
thoughts
opinion?
on Merrick? I don't know who that is.
What is your opinion on the Pangolier nerf? Definitely hurt him, but he's still good.
Still broken. What's my favorite hero? Right now, Nature's Prophet.
Counters for Terrorblade. Lion?
Batrider.
What's the best way to learn hero matchups? Play a lot of Dota.
Elder Titan OP. No. Terrible at level 1. Would you compromise in-game performance to learn habits? Yes, but in party queue or
unranked.
Unranked.
When to pick Invoker? Never, unless you're good at it.
Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? Pudge? I mean, he's pretty fat, so yeah, probably.
Most likely.
Necrophos off lane?
Yes. How to deal with Death Prophet. Burst her before she gets the suckies off.
Lena. Is Dota going to be here 5 years from now? Probably, but it might not be as big. If it is as big, it won't be bigger. It'll probably just be as big.
Yeah.
Do you love me? No, I don't love that many people.
Not really. Do you still go for the top lane in the mid game as a carry in general? Are you talking about rotating? Yeah, you should definitely rotate to push towers.
You do. Is Abaddon 5 bad? When is Abaddon 5 bad? No, never.
It's always good. You guys mentioned mistakes a lot in many other videos. How pros abuse when you make them. How do you know what a mistake is, and how do you punish when they're making it? Go back and watch your replays and see whether you lost the game because of something that you did, or you lost a fight because of something you did. That's a mistake.
All right, that's it. I got vominos.
All right, Jenkins has to leave. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to all of our patrons for giving the questions. This has been Alchemy Answers episode 27. And we'll see you next time.
You gotta do that in a video.